Hey everyone, James again with TFBTV, and today I wanted to do a video. It's been a while since I've done a top 5, so I wanted to do top 5 SMGs. I'm titling this video top 5 SMGs, but really what I'm doing, it's going to be pistol caliber carbines that are in a PDW size. So they're not truly going to be submachine guns. They're pistol caliber carbines that are compact enough that you could almost consider them to be PDWs or personal defense weapons. So we're doing only 9mm today. I love 9mm PCCs. This was a tough list to make, but we're gonna go ahead and try to run through the top 5. Big shout out to Ventura Munitions, our sponsor for this program. Love those guys. And a lot of this video that you've seen wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for them. So to start out with number 5 is going to be the B&T GHM-9. Now, about 100,000 of you saw my B&T GHM-9 review whenever I first got my review copy from B&T. It's truly fully ambi. The charging handle, you can even switch over. It's got an ambidextrous safety, ambidextrous magazine release, ambidextrous charging handle. It has a monolithic upper. It's got Picatinny rail for days on 3, 6, and 9. It's got aluminum construction where it needs to be aluminum. It's got polymer where it needs to be polymer. It's a blast to shoot. And while it's a standard blowback 9mm, it's got a hydraulic buffer. So when you're talking about blowback 9mm, almost like an Uzi or some of the cheaper AR-15s and 9mm, to delay the blowback of the bolt, they have to use a lot of weight. And when you use a lot of weight, when you're using a heavy bolt, that's gonna lead to more recoil. So even though the GHM-9 uses a straight blowback, it's got the hydraulic buffer that really softens up the recoil on your shoulder. Very easy to shoot. It's got a great no frills folding stock, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Build quality was next to impeccable. You guys should go and check out that video if you're more interested in it. And best of all, it's a Swiss-made pistol caliber carbine, but it only cost about 1,300 bucks street price. Not to mention, it also weighs almost a pound less than the H&K MP5 or the Sig MPX. I was really excited about the GHM-9, and it's good enough to be number 5. Now moving to number 4. Now those of you who watched my top 5 list before, you know that I typically reserve the number 4 slot for like my controversial pick. And this week is no different. My number 4 is the KelTec Sub2000 Gen 2. Now, why is it controversial? Well, for 2 reasons. One, there are people who take issue with Kel Tec. I like Kel Tec because they're inexpensive. Yes, they are cheaply made, but they work and they're reliable, at least in my experience and in most people's experience, and they're a very innovative company. Now, controversy point number 2 is the fact that it's got a 16-inch barrel. It's not really a PDW, or is it? It folds up to 16 inches by 7 inches. That's compact. In fact, it's just about as compact as every single PDW on this list whenever it's folded in half. But once you unfold it, which is very easy to do, one quick motion, when you unfold it, you have 16 inches of barrel at your disposal instead of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which is all the rest of these guns. So it folds up to a compact package, but you get a longer sight radius and you get a lot more ballistic efficiency out of that 16-inch barrel versus a shorter barrel. The recoil impulse is a little bit more than, say, you know, like your MP5 or your Uzi, but those are substantially heavier guns. One of the huge advantages to this Kel Tec is how light it is. That's what's nice about it. So I'm not going to hold that against the Kel Tec. And you know what else is neat about them? You can get them to take Glock mags. You can get models that take Smith & Wesson mags, M&P mags. You can get them to take Sig 226 mags. You can get them to take Beretta 92 mags. So whatever your sidearm is, you've got magazine compatibility with the KelTec Sub2000, and that's pretty dang neat. Not to mention they've integrated a lot of great features in it. You've got M-lock on the 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock. There's a lot of pick rail running along the top and the bottom. Now it's a straight blowback gun, so it's got a little bit more recoil than most of the guns on this list, even though it's shooting 9mm, but it's also the least expensive and the lightest. You're talking about street price, $400, $450, which is incredible. You can buy like 5 of these for the price of an MP5. It also weighs just a tick over 4 pounds because of the heavy use of polymer. So it's pretty lightweight, it folds up to a compact package, it's inexpensive, it uses cheap and readily available magazines that are compatible with your sidearm. So that's why I think it's good enough to be number 4. Moving on to number 3, some of you are gonna be pissed that the H&K MP5 is number 3. Some of you are going to be upset that it's that high because it's a gun that's been in service for 50 years. Some of you are going to be upset because it's that low. Now, I gotta say this, the first 2 guns on this list were both blowbacks. The GHM9 and the KelTec Sub2000 were both blowbacks. The H&K MP5 is a roller delayed system. That means the bolt carrier uses rollers to delay the blowback of the action. Now, because it uses these rollers to give itself a mechanical advantage, the bolt carrier and the bolt carrier group don't have to be as heavy as the straight blowback guns, and that leads to less recoil. They're also, come on, guys, it's the H&K MP5. Yes, they've been in service for 50 years, and they're still in service because they're durable, they're reliable, they're accurate, there are tons of accessories out, they're prolific, perhaps the best submachine guns. Of course, the H&K MP5 has to be on this list. Now, some people are gonna be upset that a 50-year-old design is this high on the list. Some people are gonna be upset that it's not the number 1, but you could make a case for both. In any event, I'm splitting it right down the middle and putting it at number 3. So some drawbacks of the H&K MP5. It doesn't have a last round bolt hold open. I've shown video before of me shooting the MP5 and how much time you lose whenever you pull that trigger and it goes click instead of bang on that last round because the bolt didn't hold open. You get no indicator whatsoever that you've run dry. So that means you gotta take the mag out, pop another mag in, charge it up, and you're good to go.
See, all that time wasted lining up my last shot and taking it.
Not to mention the controls are a little bit antiquated, the ambidexterity isn't there, the finger mag release is basically unusable. I don't even know why they have it on there, especially if you've got a paddle mag release. So it is dated and it is showing its age, and that's why the number 2, you guys know already, the Sig MPX. I've got the MPX, I've got the MP5. They're 2 of my most favorite guns that I own. But the thing about the MPX is I see it as an improved upon MP5. You get the same capabilities of the MP5 in a package that I think is modernized, that is lighter, and that is more modular, which is the most important thing. What do I mean by more modular? Well, you can buy an MPX and you can put up to a 16-inch barrel all the way down to like a 4-inch barrel. And when I say you do that, I mean it's user serviceable. So you can change, and I mean you can actually change it without taking it to a gunsmith. You can put a new barrel on there, you can do a longer barrel, you can do a shorter barrel, you can change calibers to 9, 357, 40. Not to mention you've got a free float handguard up front that gives you rail mounting options. They have key mod handguards. It uses an AR-15 pistol grip, an AR-15 style charging handle. It uses ambidextrous controls, so you've got an ambidextrous mag release, you got an ambidextrous bolt release. It's just better than the MP5, and I know I'm gonna get flamed in the comments, and that's fine because I think there are good arguments in favor of the MP5 being better than the MPX. But it's funny because I did a series of videos on the MP5 versus the MPX, why one was better than the other, and it cracked me up because you have some people in the comments saying, well, duh, the MPX, of course it's better. It's a newer design and it uses newer technology. And then you have people in the comments saying the same set of comments saying, you're insane for saying that this proven design that's 50 years old, that's still in use today, is outshadowed by this brand new gun design that had some teething issues that hasn't proven itself yet. So both valid points, but in my opinion, and that's what this list is, my opinion, The MPX is better than the MP5, and it's good enough for number 2. Now, I don't like my number 1 pick. I think it's commonplace, predictable, boring, but there's no denying that the AR-15 in 9mm is probably the most versatile PDW that you're going to be able to get. Now, we all know the AR-15. We all know how easy it is to get parts for it, how easy it is to work on, light recoiling, versatile, thousands and thousands, tens of thousands, possibly hundreds of thousands of parts and accessories available that will work with the AR-15. Magazines are also inexpensive, and then when it comes to PDWs for the AR-15, they make them in just about every caliber, but we're talking about 9mm here today. So what's neat about the 9mm is they come in a bunch of different flavors. So if I had to pick one PDW, an AR-15 PDW to be the number 1, it would be the CMMG Banshee. Now, the CMMG Banshee just came out in April of 2018. It's brand new, and it's a derivative of the CMMG Guard. So why do I like the Banshee so much? First of all, let's talk about the operating system. It uses a rotating bolt head to delay the blowback of the bolt. As we've been talking about in this video, that gives it a mechanical advantage to reduce recoil and reduce the size of the bolt. In fact, the CMMG Banshee bolt can be about 6.5 ounces lighter than most straight blowback 9mm AR-15 bolts. So not only are you getting a lighter overall package, but you're getting less recoil, and that's pretty brilliant. It's also about as compact and lightweight as you can get. This one comes with a Magpul MOE pistol grip and the MVG vertical foregrip. It's got a little integrated hand stop right in front of the foregrip to keep you from getting your hand out in front there. You've got a very small aluminum free-floating hand guard, and you've got Picatinny rail across the top. It also takes Glock magazines. That's huge. In fact, this day and age, I almost think that it's mandatory to get away from the Uzi pattern or the Colt pattern 9mm mags. Glock mags are the thing. There are more and more ARs and 9mm you see accepting them. It's great because not only is it likely what you're using for your sidearm, but you can get 33 round mags that are 100% reliable for like 25 bucks. Magpul's making a bunch of different sizes too. So I think that's mandatory, but a lot of times what you have with these small 9mm AR-15s is the lack of a last round bolt hold open. That's not the case with the CMMG. It has a functioning last round bolt hold open. God, not bad. Also an issue you can have with 9mm ARs is the fact that they might be unreliable with hollow points, certain grain weights of ammunition. That's not the case with the CMMG, with the Guard or the Banshee. It functions perfectly with all grain weights, with hollow points, so it's a reliable system. The Banshee's also got a lot of neat features. They come Cerakoted from the factory. It's got this aluminum CMMG proprietary stock that's fantastic. It's lightweight. You have a set screw that you can put in the buffer tube, and that set screw allows you to automatically deploy the stock to whatever preset length that you set with the screw. So I've got it set on the full extension setting. I mean, of course, you can use it like this if you really need to, but if you've got it tucked tight and you need to deploy, all you have to do is pull it. No button to press or anything, and it locks into place. Again, guys, I feel like this was kind of a boring pick, and I'm really sorry, but the thing is, with the versatility of the AR-15, with the prevalence of the platform, there really is no argument that it has to be the #1 9mm SMG on this list. Thank you so much for watching as usual. Guys, please go check out Patreon, support us with these new YouTube rules. We don't know what's gonna happen, so we would appreciate whatever support you can give. Link is in the description and at the end card at the end of the video. But overall, no matter what, the most important thing is that you guys are watching, and I really appreciate that. Take care, I'll see you next week.